Hi, this is Louise from FruityLou, and today I have Douglas Graham with me, the guy who invented the raw version of the 80-10-10 diet, and I would like to hear his story and how he experienced the development of this way of living and eating in society, and where he thinks it's going. So yeah, Doug, can you tell me, or welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Can you tell me how you first came across this diet yourself?
It was actually a long journey of not looking for this diet. I mean, I had no idea what I was looking for. I just knew what I was doing wasn't the best thing that I could possibly be doing. I struggled with my weight. I struggled with my health. I struggled with clarity of mind. I was very forgetful, very, very forgetful.
Okay.
And as a kid, you know, I was smart but forgetful. It's not a good combination. And injury prone, and acne, and allergies, and lots of health problems. And my weight was going up, and I wasn't happy about that. What, you know, how come I can't eat as much as I want to eat? Why should my weight be going up? And it just seemed a lot of things were wrong.
Right.
That should be right. And so I started playing with diet changes when I was a teenager.
Okay.
Mostly to get better sports performance, really.
Right.
That was the thing. Could I get better sports performance?
And you were doing trampoline?
I was doing trampoline, gymnastics, track and field, swimming, a little bit of cross-country running.
Okay.
And just mostly trying to mix it up, but I didn't know. I started making changes, but I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
Okay.
So you just experimented.
So it was literally experimentation. I mean, experimentation, like instead of eating cooked pasta, I tried raw pasta.
Really?
Raw pasta is not really all that good.
No, I can imagine.
Especially in ice cream. But it makes a nice texture.
Right.
But it really isn't a go.
No.
But I didn't know what I was doing, and I went to a lot of health food stores and started buying things from health food stores, made changes that today would seem so insignificant, you know, just like using skim milk instead of whole milk, or using honey instead of sugar, or carob instead of chocolate, buying things that were whole grain instead of refined grain. They were just, the changes were so minute.
Right. And how did you end up with this raw fruits and veggies?
I was sure, I was just absolutely convinced that nutrition was part of the package, that food was part of the package. And so even though at first the changes were small, I kept making and kept making, kept reading. And to be honest, it was a long journey. It was literally from age 15 to 25 before raw food ever came into the possibility. And even then it wasn't raw food. It was just eat more fruits and vegetables. Right. It's got to be, everybody's saying fruits and vegetables are good for me. Eat more fruits and vegetables, let's see what happens. So I started eating more fruits and vegetables and more fruits and vegetables. There was no one really showing me how to be athletic or particularly healthy eating all raw. And I asked the 5 leaders in the raw food movement at that time, none of whom were promoting 100% raw. Right. But just mostly raw, or lots of raw. And I asked them, how could I be the best athletic performance? How can I get the best athletic performance? What diet is going to best support that? All of them said raw food. Okay. All of them said, but we don't know how to create that diet. Oh. We don't know what to tell you what to eat. We know how to create raw food diets for sick people to get well, but not to then go on and be high performance. So I looked again, and I continued looking, and it was about another 7 years of looking. Right, a long journey. And it really was a long journey, and I figure about 17 years before I finally said, wow, if I just eat all the fruit I want at every single meal, so that I'm never hungry in between meals, and if I eat all the vegetables that I want, so that I'm never craving salt. And it was basically that. It was either bread, rice, pasta, corn, potatoes, salt. Bread, rice, pasta, corn, potatoes, salt. And that covers most, except for the 1 in 100 people simply won't eat anywhere near enough calories. And that 1 in 100 will go towards, God, I don't care what it is, I just need calories. But most people, when they go off raw, it's bread, rice, potatoes, corn, salty food. So all the fruit I want at every meal, gave myself permission, no matter what people said. Permission to eat all the fruit I want.
And what results did you get from that? Like health-wise? Did you...
It was night and day.
Really?
It was just night and day. My memory just sharpened.
Okay.
My clarity of thought sharpened. My ability to connect what were up until then seemingly unconnected information bits. Things started coming together.
Okay.
My fitness performance went through the roof. My need for sleep plummeted.
Really?
Oh, easy 25-30% drop in need for sleep.
Okay.
I still enjoy sleeping, but it meant that I could do more during the day and then still sleep the same even, but I could get so much more done. My productivity skyrocketed. I mean, it was just all the right things happened.
Brilliant.
At the same time, I felt like I became more in touch and in tune with nature, more spiritual oriented, a better listener.
Okay.
Okay, and more in tune with my own emotions and that side of myself that really I'd always kind of been in my head, but I got a lot more into my heart.
Awesome, awesome. And at that time, what was your vision about bringing this out to people? What did you think would happen?
Well, it wasn't a mission to tell everybody else what to do.
Okay.
But I have a strong desire, if something is really good, I want to share it. I very much like to share.
Right.
And so I still to this day say that I never tell people what to think, but I very much would like to get them to think, ask them to at least think about this as a possibility. What do you think about this? You know, if fruits and vegetables are the best foods for us, what would happen if we just ate them and eliminated everything else? Would you even consider it?
Right.
You know? And so I wrote books, mostly because my wife Rosalind encouraged me to write books.
Okay.
She says, you know, when I'm no longer here, my books will still be here.
Sure.
So I saw the logic of that, although I don't enjoy writing books.
Okay, no, it's a lot of work.
I enjoy autographing books. But I don't enjoy writing books.
No.
And the first 6 or 7 books really did next to nothing. They didn't even pay for themselves. But then 80-10-10 came out, and 80-10-10 was a hit. It seemed to strike a chord. And
it grew.
Well, it was interesting because in 1999, I was at a raw food festival in San Francisco. And one of the speakers stood up and said, I want raw foods to become so popular that it's the most popular topic of conversation. And I thought that was, you know, everybody kind of clapped. And when it was my turn to introduce myself, I said, I want raw foods to become so popular that nobody's talking about it. It's as automatic as breathing air or going to bed at night, and nobody questions it.
Just do
raw
it.
foods are just automatic. Let's get it so popular that it's what people do, and nobody's cooking food, talking about raw. Let's eat raw food, and let's get the ovens out of the house, since 87% of all house fires start in the kitchen anyway.
Right. But could you imagine that it would actually catch on, that people would start doing it? Because it is really radical.
Well, a lot of the famous authors, a lot of the famous musicians, a lot of the famous artists didn't become famous until after they died.
That's true.
Okay, so I'm by no means famous. Maybe that will happen, but I'm certainly honored to have had the success with 80-10-10 that we've at least reached 6-digit sales. Really? And more people, and it's going out now in 24 languages and coming out in more. I'm glad that it's still gaining popularity.
Right.
We're obviously going in a good direction because it's still gaining popularity, and there's more festivals forming, and it's going in a good direction. And I'm just honored by that, no end. But I'm also excited because I'm still doing 80-10-10. I still stand behind it 100%. And if I didn't, you know, if I was on to the next thing, well, then it would be another story.
And like you have more and more festivals coming, and you have more and more people, young people, promoting this diet. And how does it feel to you that people just believe in it so much they want to spread the word?
Well, I mean, this is, again, it's a great honor. It feels really good. I think I was looking around at this festival here at the UK Fruit Festival, and in the old festivals that I used to go to, there would be 1 or 2 people in their 30s, 1 or 2 people in their 40s, most people in their 60s to 80s, a few 90s and 100, and here at this festival, I mean, there's one person. My mother is 88, but there's no one even in their 70s. I'm in my 60s. There's a few others in their 60s, maybe, and then really it's a event dominated by young people, and this is exactly what we hope, because the young people will make a difference. They're going to influence more people, and I'm just thrilled to see that the young people are getting the message that not only your health comes for free, but you have to earn it, but that health is something that you don't want to waste it and then try to get more. You might as well let's grow what you have. Let's conserve and grow.
And your vision today for this way of living and eating in the future?
Well, of course, I'm always excited about my next book.
Okay.
You know, and I'm very excited about Perpetual Health, which will be out next year.
Okay.
But I want to continue to foster and support 80-10-10 and help grow that.
How big do you think it can get?
Well, I mean, I think personally that I would love to live to see the day. Yeah. But I really believe that if people are half as smart as I give them credit for, that we're going to go back to fruits and vegetables. We have to go back to fruits and vegetables, and the stoves are going to come out of the kitchen, and the patients are going to come out of the hospitals, and we're going to become a productive societies again, rather than just so much internal and external strife, that individuals will be able to carry their own weight and help others rather than, because we all have that inside of us, an instinctual desire to be helpful, but if you don't have your own health, you can't help others.
It's true.
So I think 80-10-10 is going to take over. Personally, I think it's going to take over. It'll become a global thing. It'll become the automatic norm. We'll go back to eating fruits and vegetables, which is where we humans got our roots, was eating fruits and vegetables.
Well, it certainly looks like it's exploding at the moment. So.
It's a tickle to see the movement growing. I'm honored by that. All I ask is that people think about it. Read the book and think about, is 80-10-10 worth the experiment?
Yeah, give it a chance.
Most people do the experiment. They say, I'm not going back. It's too good.
Well, thank you so much for doing this interview.
It's a treat, Louise.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on board.
And thank you for having a vision and getting it out there.
It's totally my pleasure.
If you would like to know more about the way I live and eat, you can find more information on my website. Here you can also watch videos with people who cured themselves the same way as I did, and the address is www.FruityLou.com.